Hey there guys, it's ZeroMethanol from DoubleCrossedGaming and I'm joined by JesterLogic, and we're going to do a quick video on the state of this channel, DoubleCrossedGaming, and the state of Tribes Ascend as we know it at the moment.
Indeed, for anyone who is not part of the kind of competitive community at the minute, or doesn't kind of follow it, or doesn't know what's going on in general, people are not happy, let's put it that way.
There is unrest.
There is great civil unrest. I'm not saying the game is dead, I'm saying the game is very ill right now, to put it bluntly. With the advent of, it actually started mostly with a episode of Behind the Blue Plate that myself, Mim and Lumberjack I think were on, where we brought up the fact that the game, while marketed as an esport, doesn't have a lot of the features like demos and clan support mostly in it yet, and it kind of sparked off this huge kickback onto Hirez, who again have been promising this is going to be an esport and haven't delivered the features which you sort of, you are sort of required to have as an esport. You need demos. I mean, the game in the background right now is Dota 2, and from alpha this game has been designed for an esport, and the way we are recording this now is, instead of playing now, we are watching a replay, a very nice replay, where we do some pretty pro play by me as Tiny throwing the Sand King in some pretty good positions. But yeah, so with the advent, they've announced they're not going to be working on demo support for Tribes at this point. A lot of people are very unhappy, and it came down to such a sort of volatile kickback to the way, in the way that Hirez Bart, the sort of competitive esports manager apparently for Hirez, was actually kicked and banned multiple times from the IRC channel.
Yeah, it got pretty bad. In fact, it got so bad to the point where they were unbanning him so that he could get kicked and banned again by somebody else.
Yeah, they were taking it in turns, and it wasn't nice. Like, I feel a little bit bad for Bart just because it's not totally his fault, really. I mean, he's just sort of the face of it. I mean, it's all obviously down to the actual people who work on the game, the developers more so, who are obviously saying that it's hard. Where the problem I have with this whole thing is that Unreal Tournament, as far as I'm aware, I might be wrong here and I'll stand corrected, Unreal Tournament 3 has replay functions out of the box, does it not?
It does indeed. In fact, when Tribes was in closed beta, you could even access the demos. You could record your own demos, but you couldn't play them back because it said they were corrupted.
Right, so the framework is there, and I don't understand how you can market it as an esport and then not have the very simple functions like demo support. I mean, you need demos. When there's money involved, you need to have that sort of that replay to show, like, as a hard proof if anyone's either bugging, cheating, or if there's any random bugs or anything like that. Which if something happened in a game now, we couldn't prove it unless there was a streamer there, or and even then it's not great because the streamer can't be everywhere at once. It's an essential feature. Hence why any game, I mean, Dota and a game we'll be talking about very shortly, ShootMania, has replays straight from the game, or straight from the release, even in alpha and beta. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're not saying we're done full stop. We're saying that unless Tribes get some of these features, the chance of us making a lot more Tribe content is not that great, I think.
Yeah, it's not really because they won't have the features. It's more the fact that without these features, a lot of teams are going to drop out. I mean, we've already seen the loss of working as intended, and they weren't actually that high up the game ladder because they just joined the game shrine ladder because they just joined it, but they would have been about top 3, top 4.
Yeah, they won the top 5 teams easily. And also the problem with that is the people who, for anyone who's sort of like in the Tribes Online community outside the game, for people who know SpinFuser, it's working as intended to run SpinFuser. And Game Shrine, the guys who run Game Shrine are not very happy either. I mean, they're going to keep it up for different games. I think they're going to run some ShootMania tournaments on there. So they're obviously moving on, and I mean, we haven't been that active recently. It's just generally a horrible attitude, I think, from Hirez, especially when it comes to talking to people in IRC. Like people were saying, they're basically being blunt with Bart, I think. Sometimes in a pretty harsh way, but they're definitely kind of just saying it as it is, and saying that, look, this game is in a very dire state. You need to do something, like, what we're asking for, because you can't. If they hadn't tried to say it was an esport, none of this would be a problem at all, would it? If they had just said, like, there's going to be a competitive scene for this, great, but don't try and market it as an esport, which implies very strongly on very certain functions. And I mean, like they were saying that the game is not doing badly because of pub server success, which on a game that's marketed entirely as esports. I mean, if you watch the trailers, you know, they say like the original esports returns and all that sort of stuff. And that doesn't matter. If it's pub servers, then that's not esports. I'm sorry, it's just really not.
Yeah, Mabel actually did a post on the forum somewhere, but I can't seem to find it anymore. It looks like it could have been deleted. But he quoted APOC, and APOC's actually our in-house raider for Team Mostly Harmless, and APOC had a very good post where he said that basically a lot of this competitive community has been tricked really into playing Tribes Ascend. I know it's harsh to say that, but we all came here expecting an esport title, a bit of a, you know, phoenix from the ashes from the old Tribes franchise, but it's just not going to happen, especially when they say bluntly that we're not going to get demo support. Then this game's not going to go anywhere competitively. It's as simple as.
Exactly. And it's more so, there's, like I was saying before, there's competition coming up in the form of ShootMania, which fits the same bill as Tribes was trying to do. It fits that FPS esport. And again, straight from, even at the minute, at this very point in time, when it's still in closed alpha, not for very long, but it is at this very point, that game has full custom map support, custom modding support, custom replays, and demo editor. That's what Tribe should have had. Another thing which kind of hasn't been brought up very much, which is another thing we brought up in the blue plate, is that when, 7 months ago now, 8-9 months ago maybe even, when Tribes was sort of they first released the beta, when you had to either pay for the pre-order or get a code from a friend who paid for the pre-order. They promised on release ranked private servers for people who pre-ordered. That hasn't happened. We haven't got that, and the game's been out for, how long has it been out for now? 2-3 months open release?
We joined in October.
Yeah, but I mean, how long has the game actually been officially released for out of beta? 3 or 4 months, I think.
Oh, out of beta was released April 21st or something like that.
So yeah, 2 months. And I mean, 3 months really, even nearly. And it's just, I don't like the attitude that Hirez have kind of approached it in. And I mean, I'm not sure if I'm the only one who feels that way. I don't think I am, actually, because a lot of people are very unhappy at the minute. And like we said, a lot of teams have dropped out. But again, if Hirez do suddenly think, right, okay, a lot of the community's not very happy about this, let's do this, this and this, the Tribes community will probably recover from this. But if you go to the forums, there's a lot of rage there about this stuff. A lot of rage.
As we currently stand, nothing has changed. We didn't have demo support before, we don't have it now. Bart did actually promise us that there will be some more tournaments coming up soon. And if there's tournaments, there's money, and players will stay for money, but essentially these tournaments aren't going to last if there's no demo support. In fact, this one might not even go ahead, we don't know.
The problem is, there's a couple of things that will stop tournaments, and that's, one, the organisers realising that the competitive community for that game is not doing very well, which honestly at the minute is a very risky situation because of, again, the amount of teams that are quitting. Also, the prize money for tournaments so far has dropped pretty consistently. I mean, we started off with NASL, which had a $10,000 prize pool.
No, we're at 2,000.
No, it's 10,000 for NASL.
NASL was 10,000,
yeah.
But then ESL that just finished tonight was 2,000 for the number 1 team, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there was one between which had, which was the tournament between?
Oh god.
But there was a tournament between which had, I think, $5,000. And I mean, no, ESL has, I think, a couple of thousand, and then FPS General has 2.5. It's something like that. Anyway, the prize pools are dropping, and the fact is, unless the community kind of really picks this game back up, there's not going to be enough teams to fill a competitive roster enough that organisers will want to play it. You know, that's the way I'm seeing it. So we are going to be doing a lot of ShootMania footage, especially in this opening beta week, whenever it starts up over the next few days, I think.
Yeah, we've applied for keys. I'm literally refreshing my email inbox now. I want my damn key.
Yep.
And then
for anyone who doesn't know what ShootMania is, it's especially good for me because in my youth, back in the day, I played the very first Unreal and Unreal tournament, and those are my first like real kind of competitive FPS. I played Quake 1 on release as well, online, and I'm 56k, god, That was old school. But like it's a lot like that. It's that pure fast-paced shooter, and it's quite funny. Really. There's been a lot of not bitching, but a couple of little snide remarks from some of the Hirez employees in the IRC. When people say they're excited, people in the
said it was shallow.
Yeah, he said it was shallow and there's no weapon models, and it basically came to everyone saying, well, honestly, it's about as shallow as Quake, and if you were to call Quake shallow, really, that's not right. To put it bluntly, Quake is, the purest of FPS out there at the minute, competitive-wise, and no gun models. Yeah, and no gun models. Well, any kind of pro FPS player will turn gun models off anyway, usually, because it's just more clutch on the screen. But yeah, so expect footage from ShootMania a lot over the next kind of couple of weeks, and then obviously if it's good, which I'm wholly expecting it to be, expect it for the foreseeable future. We are going to try, or I know myself and Frost, I'm assuming Zero will as well, are going to get involved in the casting of that. We're trying to contact Esports. Oh, someone just messaged me on Mumble. Thank you for that, whoever that was.
Yeah, I'm just reading now. In fact, this is ironic actually. We've just got linked a spin fuse article called "Of Horizons Potential and Death." So this just sums up the attitude right now.
Yeah. Do you want to paraphrase? Have you read it?
I'm literally just reading it now. It says this is an open letter to Hirez Studios, specifically to the management team and Todd. Yada 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 yada. Tribes is dying. Yada yada. We need demo support. Essentially, pretty much. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. This is angry. In fact, what I'll do, guys, is I'll send you a link to this article in the box below, and you can have a read for yourself. I haven't actually read it yet, so I'm just reading it as we speak.
It will give you a very good idea of how angry the scene is at the minute. I don't think we can really justify because we are being very nice at the minute. If you think what we've been saying is harsh, you have no idea. Like, yeah. Nobody is happy at the minute at all. And again, like we said, it got to the point where one of the developers was being intentionally kicked, banned, and unbanned, so someone else could ban him on IRC, on the Tribe to Send IRC, which I don't endorse, by the way. I do think it was a bit harsh, because I don't think it's Bart's fault, but I do, again, that's just how angry people are.
The reason why people are angry is because Tribes has potential. It's got so much potential. Yet the employees of Hirez are just completely ignoring it. They're ignoring all the advice we're giving about demo support, and that's not even advice they should even have to hear. That's common sense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Also, one thing is that for anyone who's looking forward to Smite, we're going to say this now because we were told this when Tribes first launched by people who played Global Agenda. We were told that the chance of Hirez delivering exactly what they promised is not very high. And we ignored them. We thought, right, no, we'll give it a chance. It looks good from what we've seen. Pub is fun, so we played it, and they were right. To put it bluntly, like they've not delivered what they said they were going to deliver. And I'm going to warn people who are playing Smite now: watch out for the exact same thing, because I know Smite looks like it's not my type of game. Really, I don't like the kind of third-person MOBA look, but don't kind of jump into it full bore until you really know what they're going to deliver. I don't know if that sounds overly negative, but honestly this left a horrible taste in my mouth about Hirez, and I think a lot of other people would agree.
Yeah, sorry, I'm still reading this article. It's quite interesting.
Is it a very angry article?
It starts off pretty angry, and then it just gets to... there's a lot of information here aimed at Hirez to how they could basically turn around and save the game.
Right. Do you think they will?
No.
See, that's one of the reasons everyone's annoyed, because we know they're not going to listen to us. And again, measuring this game by pub success is just both very kind of patronising to us in a way that I don't think they really understood that a lot of people who play Tribes, or the ones who play competitively, they know about esports. Because this game brought across a lot of people from TF2, a lot of people from Quake, and those two communities have an esports scene. They know how it all works. I think they've assumed that we really don't, and therefore they've tried to kind of not give us the things that we know full well that we need for this to be a successful esport. Right, rant over, I think. Anything else you'd like to add on the subject of Tribes being terminally ill?
Not particularly. I mean, yeah, just fix it, Hirez. I mean, please, because otherwise we're going to have to go play another game, and yeah.
That's the thing, ShootMania is coming out, and ShootMania is looking very appealing to a lot of people who are playing Tribes at the minute, because they've already got deals signed, and there's rumours of MLG picking up ShootMania. Rumours, but they are quite strong rumours, you know? Like, come on, I mean, I want Tribes to do very well, and honestly, at this point, I'm losing a lot of faith they will. So, unless we start seeing a lot of the stuff that we know the esports scene needs, the chance of us making a lot more content for Tribes is pretty low. We might still cover tournaments and stuff, depending on how it all goes, but we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, expect ShootMania footage and beta footage, and then obviously myself and, like I said, Frost and probably Zero will get involved in casting that. We have got, like I said, in touch with Esports ShootMania, the big website for that at the minute, and we're going to try and contact a few big esports teams to get rights to cast their games and stuff. So that should be good fun. Anything else you'd like to add before we round this up?
Not really, guys. See you in ShootMania.
And stay happy, guys. Don't be too demoralised. Don't go do anything stupid. Tribes is gone. My life is now meaningless. See you next time, guys.
We can still come back.
Yeah, we still make it, guys. One last thing. My personal channel's got a lot of new stuff on it recently. I've done a couple of Let's Plays, so I'll leave a link to that below and check that out. It's got all the fun variety gaming stuff. And we'll see you soon.